Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are luxury obsessed, then this is the place for you. So today I thought I'd take you through my wish list for our upcoming honeymoon to Hong Kong and Japan. I'm really excited about it. I actually grew up in Hong Kong, but I haven't been back for, gosh, it must be like 8 years. I went prior to the COVID lockdown here in Australia. So I haven't been back in ages, whereas my husband has never been to Hong Kong or Japan. So I think it'll be a really nice trip, or at least I'm hoping so. And so I just thought I would take you through what's on the wish list for this trip particularly, because I feel like when you go away on holiday, sometimes it feels like your holiday money is not real money. And so I know at least, and let me know if you guys do this too, it can be very easy to be like, oh, like I'll just get this and this and this, when really maybe you don't need all of them. And then it's doubly hard when you're looking at things like pre-loved luxury or even just designer items in general while you're on holiday, because you get, at least I do, get sucked into this idea of like, oh, but you get your VAT or GST or tax or whatever you might call it back at the same time, and the prices might be slightly less than your home country. And so you guys are going to help me keep to straight and narrow and only go for what's on my wish list. So let's get started. Starting with shoes, the main pair of shoes on my wish list are, and I know these are old now, like at least 2 seasons old, or in trend years probably like a million years old, but I still really love the Alaia ballet mesh flats. And so there's 2 colors I'd love to try. The newest season has a burgundy suede, which, as you know, I love burgundy. So I was like, okay, I have to try those on. But the original ones that drew my eye were the ones in silver. We, to my knowledge anyway, with all of my attempts at sleuthing, don't have an Alaia store in Sydney. We have third-party sellers that will stock the brand and sell it, but I haven't seen a dedicated store. So looking at where we're staying in Tokyo, there is an Alaia store in walking distance. So I was like, this is my chance. I'm going to try them on. If I actually love them and they're really comfortable, I might just pull the trigger. Although I will say my husband often refers to them as the chicken wire shoes. So I think for him, in his mind, he's like, I don't know why you like these, but I'm really drawn to them. I love them as a ballet flat styled casually with jeans, particularly like a cropped or wide leg type jean, or even if you're wearing a to the floor wide leg pant, just the peep of that shoe. I feel like it makes what could be a bottom heavy look not feel as bottom heavy, if you know what I mean. So that's on my shoe list. What else is on my shoe list? I'd love to get a pair of burgundy or iron sandals, or just a nice pair of sandals. I think in general, there's nothing else really on my shoe list that I am desperate for, but who knows, there might be something amazing, a Japanese brand or something like that, that just really grabs my eye that I don't know about yet. But if you guys have any recommendations for stores or anything like that in Hong Kong or Japan, please let me know. Moving on to accessories, I am on the hunt for a couple of different watches. I want them to be vintage, and I'm not necessarily saying I'd buy them both, but if I could find one or the other reasonably priced and in good condition, I will absolutely be wanting to pull the trigger. So the first watch that I'm looking for is a Rolex Datejust 26 in the gold and silver mixed hardware bracelet. And let me just caveat, I'm not a watch person in any way, shape or form. I'm very, very new to the watch world. So if I say something wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments so that I know exactly what to ask for. but I know that the Date Just 26 is discontinued. They don't do that style anymore, so you can only really find it on the vintage market. And what better place to find it than in Japan, in one of the best secondhand markets that there is. I don't know what color face I want. I've seen a few like with a champagne face or a gray face, some with like a creamy white face. And I think it's just gonna be, if there's one in stock and it grabs me and I love it, that's probably what I'm gonna go for. So a really good friend of mine is a jeweler. She actually made my engagement ring, if you can see it. And she was telling me the things to look out for when you're buying a secondhand Rolex, particularly a linked watch. So one thing that she was saying is you should hold the watch on its side and see how big the sag is in the band. And what you want is for it to not be really separated and saggy, because I think she said it means that the gold is kind of stretched. I'm not an expert, but that's something that I'll look out for. The price range is, I think, on market around 6,000 to 7,000 Aussie dollars. But if I can get one for less than that, amazing. If it's in that kind of range and it's really good quality, then I might go for it. But I'm not 100% sure. But that's on my list as one that I'd love to get. The other one, which I'm sure is on a lot of people's list, is the Cartier Panthera watch in a mini or small size in gold. Brand new in store. I remember a few years ago, I was in Mykonos with two of my very good friends, and they actually bought themselves a Cartier watch, and I tried it on and it was breathtaking. And even with the extra discount, I think at the time, because they'd opened up a new shopping area, it was like you got 20% VAT back instead of 14 or whatever it was. It was still like over $20,000 Aussie dollars because it was in the gold. And if I'm not going to spend that on an Hermes bag, I'm not going to spend that on a watch, unfortunately. And I'd also be open to the gold and silver variety as well. But if I could find one in the size that I'm after, in pretty good condition and at a reasonable price, then I would maybe get that. And I think market at the moment is around, I think I've seen them for anywhere from $10,000 to $13,000, which is a lot of money, particularly for a secondhand watch. So really, I'd probably be looking for a deal. I think my main focus for watches is probably the Rolex. So most of the jewelry I wear is gold, but going for a mixed gold allows me to incorporate some silver, because like my Pico 10 has silver or palladium hardware. I have some belts with palladium buckles. I think it would be good to have that mix. And now moving on to accessories. Realistically, looking at my bag collection, and I say that loosely because it's by no means a collection compared to other people on YouTube. I have like 10 or 11 bags, which is still a lot, but it's not like a huge collection. I don't have a cream bag and I don't have a light gray, you know, like etoupe or taupe kind of color bag. And I think those are the two colors that I'm really wanting to put into the collection. And I'll probably be at bag piece then. So we'll see. But in terms of styles that I'm looking for, I still love the Louis Vuitton side trunk bag. I love that it's structured but slouchy, and I've said this in my 2025 wishlist video. I really, really love that. And so if that was in that a gray taupe kind of color or a cream, which I think it comes in both, and I found one secondhand and it was a good price and in good condition, I'd be tempted by that, to be honest. I think there was this Fendi bag that I saw a little while ago. It was secondhand and unfortunately I missed it, which to this day I still hunt it down. It was this beautiful cream embroidered tulle type material with gold hardware. I love that it has this whimsy to it, and you know, it's not an everyday bag, but it's definitely this beautiful summery creamy bag. That would be a dream bag if I could somehow find that in Japan or in Hong Kong. I think Other than that, the only other thing I would be looking for would be maybe a really fun crystallized or sequined bag. I would love to add something sparkly and fun to my collection as well. And I think it would, again, not be an everyday bag. It would be a special occasion bag, and it wouldn't have to be a big one. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a luxury handbag. If I saw something really beautiful that really fit that description, I think I would maybe get that as well. But I think those are the main things I'm looking for from a luxury perspective. I've done some research on Hong Kong and Japan, and I know that there are a lot of really good vintage and secondhand or reseller type bricks and mortar stores across both locations. What I'm thinking I'll do is I'll check out each one, and I won't pull the trigger unless it's one of the items that meets my wish list criteria and is decently priced and in good quality. But I have heard that Osaka is better priced than Tokyo or Kyoto. And so our itinerary is Hong Kong, Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka. And so I'm going to definitely try all, and I will film as much as I'm allowed to and how much I can. Also, obviously, we are there for our honeymoon, so I just really want to enjoy it. But let me know what you guys would like to see. There are so many amazing vlogs from way more experienced content creators than me, because I'm kind of doing this as I love to talk to you guys about my love of luxury, and hearing about your love of luxury, it feels like I have a community, even though we're a small one. So I probably won't vlog in the same way that other creators do, because it is their full-time job and this is merely a passion project for me. But anything that you guys think would be worthwhile filming or sharing, please put that in the comments so that I can definitely keep an eye out for it. I will share anything I find regarding luxury, especially if anyone is going there. I know some of you said that you were going either this year or next year. But if there's anything else, let me know. I can always put in some details around where we stayed and any activities we did, any food we had, that type of thing as well. But yeah, let me know. I'm always happy to share what I can. I also thought it would be interesting separately to do a video. So I mentioned that my friend who made my engagement ring, I'm actually going to commission a new piece with her with some stones that I have. So if you're interested in seeing something a little bit different from luxury handbags and wanted to see what it's like to design and make your own jewelry piece with a jeweler, how to source the stones, how you kind of set it so that you know what the design will look like, what the CAD drawings look like when the jeweler makes it, all that type of stuff. Also let me know in the comments, because I'm happy to share that as well, appreciating it isn't luxury handbags, but I guess a bit of a lifestyle thing. Are there any must-see places that you think we have to go to in Japan? It doesn't have to be shopping, it can be experiences, restaurants, anything like that, because we're still trying to map out our itinerary. Would love to hear your thoughts. Otherwise, there's a really quick video run through of my wish list. I'd love to hear from you in the comments about anything that I've mentioned, and I will be sure to update you once we are there. We go in a few weeks and I can share anything that we find. Thank you so much for watching today. It is such a pleasure to talk to you guys again, and welcome to anyone new who has joined recently. If you liked this video and you want to see any others, please feel free to look at the videos I've popped up. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you again soon.